Hello students, my name is Maggie Gaddis. I am your instructor for Anatomy and Physiology this summer. I want to take you on a quick tour throughout the course. This will help you get oriented efficiently. So when you open the class, you see the home page. This page is actually one of the wiki pages, and they are in the pages link here. If you want to see all the pages, you just click View All Pages. I changed the textbook, so I will publish these, but I just want to make sure that they're still aligned appropriately with the new textbook. But these are just additional resources that are available for you to study with when you have a few minutes. All right, at the top of the home page, the announcements, the most recent 5 announcements load to the top of this home page, but you can also go to announcements. And also, if you have the Canvas app on your phone, you should see the announcements because I enabled a RSS feed. So here's all the announcements. These are disorganized because I deleted them. But if you see them, you'll see them in chronological order. Then here's the syllabus. I'm going to email this to you as soon as I finish this video with the video. But in this page, you can also see the content of the syllabus. I want to point out a few things. So across the state, all colleges agree to assess the same learning outcomes in the same courses. So in Bio 106, these are the learning outcomes for the entire course, okay? We are going to use these statements as the driving framework for the course. Yes, there's an outline in the textbook, but these are the competencies that you will hopefully gain by the end of the course. I'll talk about this in just a minute, but I will really use the information that we bring to the table to craft our quizzes. So within this framework of these learning outcomes, that is what we're learning. From my perspective, these are the skills that I really hope that you learn. I want you to learn some factual knowledge for your future career in the medical sciences, health sciences. I also want you to develop skills in expressing yourself. So science communication is what most of you will be in the business of doing when you pursue your careers. You have to be able to take what you learn about science and deliver it to your patients, clients, and friends and family. Finally, I want you to be efficient and effective at finding quality information on the internet. So we will work on that quite a bit in discussion. We have several assignments in the course. I'm going to talk about these as I navigate through the course, but if you come back to the syllabus page, you'll be able to read it in this essay here. Looking at how the course is framed, you must come to class, participate in discussions. Everyone should get 30 out of 30% in this part of the course, because if you follow the rubric and you meet the deadlines, this is an effort-based part of the learning activities. Then a 40% of the grade arises from the study prep and quizzes, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. 30% from coloring and portfolio, and that's the total. So notice here that, if you're quote unquote bad at taking tests, I will help you to gain confidence, but also see that that is not the majority of the score. So your effort really drives this course's achievement. Again, here's a short essay that describes my personality and what my expectations are for you. But the very, very brief punchline is, I expect you to communicate with me. If you don't communicate with me, I have less compassion. That's just a human response. But if you tell me ahead of time what's going on and foresee any scheduling conflicts, just treat me like a human being and I will do the same thing to you. But I don't like it when you email me a day after the deadline and make an excuse for yourself. That's not a winning practice in academia, and it's not a winning practice in any professional environment. The rest of the text here in the syllabus is standard language for all CMC courses regarding the policies, contacts, etc. And then here's our course schedule. I post the relevant line in the course schedule every Tuesday morning, but if you want to see the whole schedule in overview, come here and look at the syllabus. And then here's some more common information. Now, here's this course summary. There are not due dates on every assignment. So if you drive your participation based on this course summary, you are not going to succeed. I have a pretty flexible deadline schedule, but the downside of that is it doesn't show up here because there are not deadlines on every single assignment. Okay, so going to the announcements, we looked at those. Those are at the top of the home page, or come see them here. The pages are your resource information. Now, if you look at the course from the modules tab, you're going to get like a schedule type perspective. This is organized in a chronological fashion. So you start at the top and you work down. And then once we pass by something like, so for example, course introduction, I will reorder this and it will be at the bottom of this list after this week goes by. So whatever week is at the top is what you're supposed to be working on. So every unit, which is either 1 or 2 weeks, there are basically 4 things to do. So you're going to read your textbook. And I have a lot of opportunity here for you to apply effort to improve your achievement score. And so if you're a kind of person who wants to try hard, but you don't feel very confident with science, then you should definitely take me up on all these offers. So for example, you're supposed to read about 6 hours for each unit. If you keep a journal of what you're doing for studying, you can accumulate up to 7 points for each unit quiz. Over the course of the semester, that's 42 points added right to your quiz scores. Now what I want you to do is fill out this table. It looks a little funny here because there's no entries in the lines, but ideally you would spend time every single day working on this course, even if it's just 15 to 30 minutes, and you would write the date and you would say what you did, for how long, and what you learned. And the what you learned part can be kind of like your notes, and you can use these notes during the quiz. Okay, so that's study prep. Now, another study prep is coloring. So you all bought a coloring book. This is a long-running, well-researched practice. Diagramming and coloring is a very effective way to learn human biology because there's so many terms and things are quite complex. And when you take the time to color, you can really absorb that into your long-term memory because you've held it in your working memory for all the time that you were coloring. So every unit you need to color 1 picture from your coloring book and submit it for 5 points. You can use your coloring as the basis of your portfolio artifact, which I'll talk about in just a second. So you can have double duty for this coloring assignment. Get 5 points for doing it during the semester, and then it contributes to your 20-point final portfolio assignment. Now, every unit has a discussion. It's either 1 or 2 weeks. The first post is due on Thursday, and if it's 2 weeks, the second post is due on Thursday. If it's 1 week, the reply posts are due on Monday, the last day of the week, because our weeks run from Tuesday to Monday. And I just misspoke for just a second. You need to make more than 1 second post. You need to make 3 reply posts. So 1 original post, 3 reply posts, and this is described in the rubric. So notice here that this is more open than most discussion topics online. I'm not asking you a specific question. I'm reminding you of the learning outcomes and asking you to write a short outline of part of that information, and then we will study together. And the best way to do this is to study the assigned reading. So please use your free textbook before you ask Google. The tests will be driven by the material in the textbook and the material we discuss. Asking Google basically makes a gigantic Pandora's box for what you need to learn. So stick to that textbook. I know it is not necessarily your intuition to do that, but I'm asking you to. Here's the rubric for the discussions. And then finally, every unit concludes with a quiz. And they're very simple parameters for this quiz. I won't publish it until the Friday before it's due because I really want to make sure that the quizzes are assessing what we covered in class. I'm not just making a random draw of questions from the textbook test bank. So you have 4 days. The smaller amount of time guarantees that you'll actually be assessed on what we discussed, not just some random assortment of hundreds of pages in a textbook. Now, we're going to go over here to modules. So remember I said that if you click into modules, it gives you a chronological perspective. If you go into assignments, it groups all of the assignments into categories by type. And this is related to that syllabus. So all the quizzes and the study journals are in one section, the portfolios and coloring are in another, and the discussions are in a final one. So what I want to talk about is the portfolio. Essentially, these are 20-point homework assignments that demonstrate your learning from each unit. All the deadlines are at the end of the course, but of course it would be best if you worked on them throughout. For example, if you completed your artifact for Unit 1 during Unit 1, you would have no final to worry about. That should be a good carrot for you. So essentially, let me go up here to pages. The portfolios have several rubrics. You can do whatever you want. You can make presentations, you can write a lesson plan, you can go on a field trip, you can write an essay. You can do whatever you want to demonstrate your knowledge. And the main driving point is that you pick one of those learning outcomes, one per unit, and you create a 20-point demonstration of your learning. And this can relate to your study journal, it can relate to your coloring. So for example, if you had your coloring from a particular unit, you could turn it into a labeling diagram where you take that diagram, your coloring sheet, and you describe at least 5 major concepts, and all the information is accurate, etc., etc. You are deepening that information. Or you could write an essay about one of your coloring pages, or make a presentation or a lesson plan. Okay? So the portfolio is totally self-directed. Students are often freaked out. They're like, what do I do? What do I do? And I think it's just this freedom is a little alarming. So if you need more advice, go to the What is a Portfolio page. And here I have all sorts of information and just basic communications between students and myself about what the portfolio is. Okay? Now moving right along, here's a link to the quizzes, libraries, grades, people, tutoring, etc. This course is going to be fun. You're going to get to explore the kinds of anatomy and physiology that are relevant to your interests. So lots of these students in this course are in the medical billing program or medical coding program. Some are looking into nursing careers. Others are EMTs. Others are therapeutic masseuses. There are millions of different reasons why you might be in this course, so take the advantage. Study in this course what is interesting to you within the basic framework of those learning outcomes. And they're not a mystery. They're things like understand the digestive system, understand the nervous system. Basically, just have a broad understanding of human anatomy and physiology. Okay, I hope you're having a wonderful long weekend. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you on Tuesday.